So one thing I really love is like traveling, and of course there are obvious reasons. You can experience new places, you can see new things, right? I mean, I think everybody loves traveling for the most part. But there's another thing that I notice that happens to me when I kind of get out of my usual environment and when I go traveling is that I seem to be able to kind of shake off some of the like bad habits I have and the bad habits that I know I have, right? So I don't know. When I'm in my usual rhythm and my usual routine, I tend to realize that um, I'm accumulating certain bad habits, like I don't know, be it like doom scrolling on social media, or like getting up in the morning and just like staring at my phone, staring at my phone like before going to bed, and I don't know, generally like accumulate like kind of uh, uh, getting into a grumpy attitude towards work because it's like the same every day, and it's like, oh my god, and I have to go again. It's another Monday, and um, you kind of, I kind of like accumulate these over a certain amount of time, and then once I have travel come up though, and then once I'm kind of ripped out of that kind of daily routine, um, I find myself that like during the holiday and then of course afterwards as well, I kind of lost like the interest in all those bad habits, or like I lost a certain amount, or like even during the traveling I make a conscious effort to not do those kind of things, right? um, and that kind of got me thinking about, yeah, today's topic, where like if for me travel is kind of that catalyst of getting rid of those bad habits, like do other people have other strategies for like getting rid of those, right? Like for me it's like a reset button that I can like hit, right? And that um even like I mean like for most people, I think with families, like the travel comes like at certain times in the year when the kids are on school holidays, right? But I'm sometimes also trying to like schedule a short trip by myself if it's possible, to just kind of like on purpose hit that reset button when I'm kind of feeling that like things are getting out of hand. And I was wondering, like, do you have anything like that, whether it's also travel or whether it's like something different that you do?
Um, well, so first of all, traveling for me is usually associated with a little bit of difficulty.
Right, right,
And
right.
and I tend to not love traveling. I
Hmm,
mean, I
hmm.
do like when I'm at a new place.
Right,
But the traveling aspect I never really
right.
liked.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I think now I'm opening myself up to more experiences because when you are away, it can being in a new place or meeting new people can bring about a lot of insights and thoughts that can, make you grow as a person. And that's why, when you grow, you can grow out of certain habits, right? I mean, you understand things more. For me, it's not, I think, um, if we're talking about bad habits, I don't think, like traveling would kill those bad habits. Because, when I travel, I'm doom scrolling, I'm on social media. It doesn't
That's
matter. I
interesting.
think,
Interesting.
because I
Okay.
think it's ultimately it's a decision you make, right? At some
Mm.
point, is that you want to affect, you know, you're traveling maybe 10% of the year, if that,
Yeah.
right? 10,
Mm,
20%.
mm.
So the rest of the time, you want to change that, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
that comes from a very, um, I mean, I would look to change that, because the traveling stuff I think brings about very temporary changes.
Mm.
You come back to what you were doing. But I think for me, if I want to change some of these habits, I want to look a little bit more at why they're doing what they're doing. Um, where is it coming from and how do I actually make these changes? So you know on other episodes, I'm making changes, like instead of scrolling first thing in the morning, I'm meditating the first thing in
Mm,
the
mm,
morning.
mm,
That's it. 15 minutes, not like life or death, but after that, I don't even want to check. That's the thing is, so for me, it's those kind of things. And the traveling spurs on like growth and creativity and, like I want to do things, and then you're forced to be away from your computer. So now you have to
Right.
draw, or now you have to read, or like you do, or you do photography or whatever.
Mm, mm, mm.
You're doing other things other than just sitting in front of your computer. Although I did buy an iPad, so uh, but I mean, like, but you naturally you're gonna go out, right? I mean, you're not gonna be, sitting in the hotel and doing all that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
traveling is conducive to also seeing a new perspective, a new point of view, going and understanding another culture. There's so many things uh, you know, to like about it. Like, like we're gonna take a trip this week to LA, this
Mm,
weekend.
cool.
Just a, like you said, maybe a little reset, just get away.
Mm,
Get away so that you don't have to be in your usual surrounding. Not that that's bad, but it's just, you just want to get away a little bit and reset
right.
your mind. But I mean, I think for me, uh, it doesn't what I bring back is a lot of like inspiration or thoughts or stuff like that, but it never changes my habits really, because
Fair enough.
I'm
I think.
just I'm just being honest. I mean, I
No,
go
no,
to
no.
Hong Kong and that's as different as a place as
Right.
anything, and I'm still checking the thing the first thing I wake up. So it's a matter. It's
Interesting.
just it doesn't really matter to me. But now I'm making changes home where when I go to the trip, I actually enjoy it more because I am not doing that. And I've made a conscious effort to,
Mm.
like not check my phone as much.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know I'm
you know.
terrible. Like it seems like my traveling is just really like a band-aid on a larger problem, which I
Well,
should
I mean,
really change more fundamentally. Yeah.
we're all different. So I think, ultimately, for me, I'm just trying to look at why I'm checking,
No, no, that's probably a
uh,
better approach. Yeah.
and try to change it just in general, and of course, I mean, if you go to a retreat or something and you don't have a phone with you, then great. But I mean, you're gonna get the phone back, and
Yeah, that's.
then it's like the people who are on a diet, right? They'll go on a diet and they lose all this weight, and then then they gain it all back because now they can eat again. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's just that kind of thing. And I think making small, slow progress change sticks. Things stick a lot better
Mm.
than if you just okay, it's like okay, I'm gonna go on this trip. I'm gonna be great, and come back and slowly
Yeah, it's the
settle in.
same. It lasts for a while. It lasts for a while, like the positive effects of the traveling. Um, but of course, like more sooner or later, you find yourself with the same kind of things again, right? The same kind of bad habits that you accumulate, right? I mean, um, one other thing that is kind of related to that, is for me what helps a lot is like if I feel kind of stuck and I feel like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this day in day out? Um, um, I feel like sometimes there's a certain mode attached to I feel like I switch when I go into my office, right? Like your brain switches on and you feel and you not switches on, but like switches into a different mode where like um, you feel like, okay, now I need to work, right? And now I need to do things in a certain way. But for me, sometimes that actually has a bit of a negative effect when I tend to try to do other things in my office that like maybe not related to work, but maybe it's about study, maybe it's about something else. Um, and I'm constantly kind of like have this nagging voice in my head of like, oh, but I'm in my office, I should work now, right? Um, and there's a certain like trigger that I have when I enter the office, right? And it's not always good. Like I can be productive, I can focus on that. That's great, but then um, I feel like I really need to have like a workspace, and I recently changed some things in my office, and like I have like a place where like I have basically another desk where on the one hand that's like a place for, how to say, like well, all the admin things, and it's just like a standing desk, and I have just like my laptop there, and I can do all the emailing and stuff there. But then when I actually have to do like the work stuff, like I have a different desk with just like my Windows machine. It's just for like the artwork kind of stuff, and even within the same like room, I can have two separated spaces for like different things, and that has helped to a certain degree, kind of separating those out. And then if it's really like really sometimes I just don't feel like sitting in that room, and like even though like we talked last time about like lighting and everything and making that space really comfortable, right, and putting in some good music, but sometimes like even that doesn't help for me. Like I sometimes have this like block or whatever that I can't get anything done because I'm in that room. It's a really weird thing. I don't know what the like psychologically what's going on there, right? But like sometimes it even helps me to just like go to a different room, sit at the dining table, or like go to a cafe and solve a certain problem I have there, right? Whether that's a whether that's like an art problem, and yeah, like I don't know, I take my iPad and take my Apple Pencil or whatever and like sketch something there and try to solve that problem in a different environment. Or if I don't know, have like a presentation to prepare, and I need to just like get my thoughts together and like write it down, like in a very like, I just need half an hour, I just need to write an outline, and that's it, right? Um, so sometimes that helps me. I don't know, maybe that's a very unique problem, or a very weird problem to have. I don't know, but I sometimes feel that's what I'm dealing with, and that's how I can get out of it.
Yeah, I mean that's not unique. I mean, I think there's times when I feel the same, and I think ultimately the easiest thing is to keep things very compartmentalized. Like, this is the computer that I do this. When you sit
Mm,
here, that's it. But I wouldn't, take a laptop out to the sitting room and start doing stuff there. I mean,
mm-hmm,
I would probably just keep it in one place.
mm-hmm,
You come here to work. This is it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have it. This desk, I use it for this. Like I have a sculpting desk back there.
Ah, right,
That's
right,
where I
right.
sculpt. And when I'm there, I'm in a different mode.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just, I think it's good that way, uh, to keep it separated. And it's not abnormal because there's times when I don't feel like working. If I want to
Right,
watch something, maybe I'll watch it in a different screen. I won't come to the office for that.
right, right, right.
Or if I want to just hang out, then I can do it somewhere else. And the desk is kept for working more.
Right.
And I'm actually doing that more now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm setting up my sitting room for like sort of a big sculpture studio kind of thing, hangout
Wow.
spot, so I can hang out there a little bit more and get
Mm-hmm.
away from the desk. Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, then maybe it's not such a unique problem. Yeah. I'm wondering what kind of is going on in your brain, and how I can kind of work around those things to, like, I don't know, move from place to place. For me, like, it really helps sometimes. Like sometimes I want to be alone. Like I need that quiet time. I need to be able to focus and get some work done. But sometimes, like, I feel like even like taking the laptop and going out, like it kind of helps me to, like, maybe like for a few minutes I just look around and enjoy the atmosphere in the coffee shop, and just like um like don't do anything. But then I also feel kind of like it feels nice to be among people. I don't know, like maybe I've been a freelancer for too long, like maybe I've been working from home for too long. But sometimes it gives like a little bit of like stimulus, um, to then kind of approach the task that I
Mm,
have,
mm,
like
mm,
in a new way, and maybe I notice something outside that I haven't noticed inside, right? Um, and I don't know, like that's again, maybe I don't know if some of the viewers have these kind of not issues, but like face these kind of problems. Like, I don't know, what do you do? Like, that would be interesting to hear. So leave a comment if
mm,
if you
mm,
feel
mm.
like you have a unique way of approaching that, right? Um,
You know,
but
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of it. you were talking about going out. I mean, in Chinese we have a thing called, it's like people energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times when you're around people, you do also pick up a lot of energy.
Oh,
And it
okay.
feels, like there's times when I'm like I go to coffee shops sometimes to, to
Mm-mm-mm.
do stuff, sometimes it can be creative, sometimes it's reading, sometimes just to get
Right.
away,
Yeah,
right? It's just to get
exactly. Yeah.
away from my
Yeah.
desk. And when I do that, um, having the people around is important,
Mm.
because it feels like amongst people. But for me, a lot of times I don't want to engage with people, so I put
Oh,
on my
yeah, that's
AirPods
different.
and
That's
stuff like
different.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but I
different.
mean, I just want to make it clear because I just want to
Right.
be amongst people
Yeah.
without having to
Mm.
engage people.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean.
Even
Yeah.
when I go out to lunch myself, sometimes some of my best thinking and best sort of natural work comes when I'm just, like I'm just looking outside and I'm drawing something
Right.
and, oh, okay, I want to take that and make it into something,
Mm.
because it's very relaxing and you're seeing things you wouldn't normally, because right now I'm seeing the same four walls. It's going to be the
Right.
same four walls tomorrow. It's going to be the same four walls in 4 months.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same, right? But if
Mm.
you're somewhere, it's not never going to be the same. So it can only
Right.
stimulate you. So,
No,
yeah.
that's a very good point. And I also realize, I mean, that's a very, I guess it's a problem that probably a lot of freelancers have that
Yeah,
work
well,
from home.
yeah.
Whereas people that, of course, go to an office, right? Like they have that physical like distinction between work and personal life, right? But so maybe this is a very unique thing for freelancers working from home. And for people,
Definitely.
maybe a new problem for a lot of people that after COVID or during and after COVID kind of started working remotely, that can, I think, develop into some issue. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was interesting. That was a very good kind of little discussion here. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys in the next episode. Thank you again for listening and watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.